Sadly, the police abuse power everywhere. We need law enforcement. It is absolutely necessary for safety. I don't care what any left-winger tries to tell me, but when you put power, the power to abuse and to kill in the hands of the wrong people who are untrained or who lack honor, there is going to be injustice. That is the sad truth of it. In many places, much worse than what we see here in countries where people have never even seen a white person. Police and militia oppress the populace. Are they also somehow constructs of whiteness? Now, there are many in this camp, believe it or not, who would honestly say yes to that question because they believe that all oppression, especially of Black people, is a product of racism from white people. But that argument, whether you're trying to argue it universally or just here in the US, especially by Christians, is as morally repugnant and biblically inaccurate as it is straight up stupid. Black people are humans, are they not? They are image bearers of God. They are people with souls, created by God, in need of redemption by Christ. You believe that, right, Christian? I do. That means that they, just the same as me, have agency. They have the ability to make good and bad decisions. They have the capacity to discern right from wrong and then do it. They, just like me, are dead in their sin apart from Christ. When they get to the judgment throne, there will be no whiteness excuse for their sins. No justification for unrighteousness that falls under the category of but white supremacy. There will be no consideration of melanin count or generational trauma in determining the fate of their soul. It will only be whether they have been made clean by the blood of the Lamb, just like me, just like you. So when we deny individuals accountability because they are Black, when we won't hold them to the same standards and we use white people or the system as a scapegoat, we actually deny their humanity, their God-given ability to choose, and we ultimately obscure their need for a savior and thereby pervert the gospel. It's a big deal. We also do something that God tells us repeatedly that he hates. We show partiality. This is something that we talked about a lot in 2020. People who would excuse rioting and looting and arson because the perpetrators were Black. People who would only care about a story when the victim was Black and the perpetrator was white. People who say didn't have any public lament when Eliza Fletcher just a few months ago was kidnapped and murdered by a Black man in Memphis. One incident in a string of similar kidnappings there, but who called for a national reckoning in a case like this. People who ignore the instances of similar Black on Black crime happening every single day at rates wildly disproportionate to their population size, but speak up when a news story enables them to push their talking points. People who don't even know, much less speak the names of Justine Damon, Tony Tempa, or Daniel Shaver because they're white people murdered by the police, as if God cares about their lives less. Pastors and Christian influencers having two different messages for their audience based on their ethnicity. Tough talk about the sin of racism to white folks and just apologies to Black folks. This is all partiality. This is showing favoritism to one group over another for arbitrary reasons. And God says it is the opposite of justice.
If you enjoyed this video, hit like and subscribe to our channel so you'll be sure to see similar videos from BlazeTV with the added bonus of signaling YouTube that your voice and opinion still matters. And if you're looking for more great conservative content, check out one of the 2 videos suggested here. And let's go, Brandon.